Hi, this is our first English lesson online on YouTube. Today we're going to use the book Side by Side, and this is the third edition, book number 3. We're going to begin on page number 145. This is the Side by Side Gazette, and the title of this article is From Matchmakers to Dating Services: Traditions, Customs, Modern Life, and the Way People Meet. Okay, traditions, customs, modern life, and the ways people meet. So we see that this is plural. This is more than one, more than one tradition, more than one custom, modern life, life being singular, and the ways, the many ways that people meet. Okay, so let's read this article. Marriage traditions and customs are very different around the world. In many cultures, young people meet at school, at work, or in other places. They decide to go out together, they fall in love, and they get married. In other cultures, parents or other family members arrange a match between two young people. Again, we see marriage traditions, customs are many, very different around the world. In many cultures, young people meet at school, at work, at school, at parties, at school, at work, or in other places. They decide to go out together, We might go out together to have coffee. They go out together. They're dating, right? They fall in love and they get married. So this set phrase, get married. I want to get married. I got married. And they get married. In other cultures, parents or other family members arrange a match between. Okay, so between. We think of between two young people. So B is between A and C. So that's very easy, right? Between. Now we're looking at sort of this thing too, right? Between my wife and I, between you and I. Okay. So in other cultures, parents or other family members arrange a match between two young people. Okay. So what we want to do, I've read that for you. What we want to do is reread this and have an image as we're rereading it. What is the story telling us? Can we see pictures? Do we see words from another language? Hopefully we don't see words from another language. Hopefully we are following the conversation as images. Okay. Let's go on to the second paragraph. We just read the first paragraph. Now we will read the second paragraph. In India, for example, a father traditionally finds his daughter a husband. The father might ask friends or relatives to recommend a possible husband, and he might put an ad in the newspaper. The father looks for someone with a good education, occupation, and salary. When he finds a possible match, he sends his daughter's horoscope to the boy's family. An astrologer reads the horoscope and decides if there is a good astrological match between the young man and woman. If the astrologer, that's difficult, huh? We've got astrology and astrologer, astrological. If the astrologer approves, the families then discuss the marriage arrangements. Okay, so I'm making sure that we're seeing these plural forms, families and arrangements. Okay, and we saw some difficulty there with astrology, astrologer, and astrological. Okay, so we can practice reading this again for meaning. Not just reading words, but actually having meaning. When we say, what does nani nani, what does something say? What does something mean, rather? What we're really saying is, what's the image? Not how do we say that in another language? How do we say that in Japanese or some other language? But what is the meaning? Yeah. So let's read for meaning and reread that as many times as is necessary for you to actually have a picture. Okay. In many cultures around the world, now we're starting the third paragraph. In many cultures around the world, families use a matchmaker. A matchmaker. We notice that this is one, right? A matchmaker, to bring young people together. So bring. We have an image there, to bring young people together and arrange marriages. This is especially common in rural areas of many countries. Families pay the matchmaker to find a partner for their child, for their families, their child. Sometimes the matchmaker also helps families with the business part of a marriage arrangement. For example, a family may give or receive animals, products, or other valuable things as part of the marriage arrangement. In some cultures, parents even arrange marriages between children before they are born. Okay, so we're seeing some of these words, some of these vocabulary words are being repeated. Gives us more exposure to them, more practice with them, and more of a chance to get the meaning, get the image, so it's available for us to use. So it's not something that we're trying to memorize. We're now associating these vocabulary words with actual things, right? So, in some cultures, parents even arrange marriages between children before they are born. So think about what even might mean in this case. Okay. And then we'll read the last paragraph along with what it says beneath this photograph. It says, an astrologer approved. An astrologer approved the marriage of these newlyweds from India. So he is a newlywed and she is a newlywed, right? So the two, each one is a newlywed. So it says these newlyweds from India. The astrologer examined their horoscopes to decide if the date and time of their births were a good match. Okay, and then you might just take a second, look at that picture and say, what are they doing? What are they doing? And we know when we ask a question like that we're probably going to be answering with an ing answer. They are sitting next to each other. They are smiling. They are looking at the camera. They are drinking something. ing, right? Okay. And then the last paragraph. These traditions and customs are changing in many places, especially in the modern cities of the world. Young people want the freedom to choose their own partners. Many, however, actually use modern-day versions of the traditional matchmaking services. For example, some people put personal ads in newspapers or magazines. In these ads, people describe themselves and tell what kind of person they're looking for. Others use dating services, companies that bring people together. Most dating services ask people to submit a photograph and fill out a long questionnaire about their background and interests. Okay. Some dating services even make videos of their customers. People who use a dating service can usually browse through the company's information to find a possible partner. Okay, so we see that here it says some dating services even make videos of their customers. So we can see now they've used even twice this way. We can see that it is some additional step or something unexpected. We can use this word even. So I wore a sweater, a jacket, a hat, and even a scarf because it was cold outside. So this scarf is going to be some additional piece of clothing that we're using because it's so cold outside. Okay? Okay, and then this last paragraph, the fourth paragraph, should be read again and again. We really want our ears to hear English that is correct, so that when it is spoken incorrectly by us or by others, we notice it. Why is it important to notice other people's mistakes? I don't know. Maybe it's not that important, but it's really important that we realize when we're making a mistake, so that our ears can hear, hey, that's not right, you know? And that's how a native speaker does it. A native speaker listens to language and can immediately spot when they or someone else has made a mistake. And that's what you want to be able to do as well. So please reread this as many times as is needed, and circle anything that you don't understand. If you need to look it up in a dictionary, do that. Try looking it up in an English to English dictionary. And see if at the end you can explain what that word means in English. What does between mean in English? What does any of the other ones, like possible, a possible partner? I think that's pretty hard, but it's a good exercise to help you to speak and also think in English. So until next time, please enjoy.